The thunder roared like a beast unleashed, shaking the walls of Ethan Carter's Emergency Operations Center in Pinewood County. Rain pounded the roof, a relentless drumbeat drowning out the hum of radios and the tense chatter of his team. Ethan, the county storm response chief, stood before the radar screens, his eyes locked on the swirling reds and yellows that screamed danger. The storm was a monster, and it was barreling straight for his neighborhood, Willow Lane. His stomach churned, not from the chaos of his job, new storms like old enemies, but from a gnawing fear for his wife, Lily, 8 months pregnant and alone at home. Lily had laughed off his concern an hour ago, her voice soft over the phone. "Just a little thunder, babe. I'm sipping chamomile and reading. Don't fuss." But now, with lightning clawing the sky and the wind howling like a banshee, Ethan's instinct screamed that something was wrong. Another bolt lit the room, the thunder so loud it rattled his bones. "Status!" he barked, his voice slicing through the din. Reports: flooded infallen trees, flooded roads, power outages spreading. His team was sharp, but Ethan's mind was elsewhere, haunted by the image of Lily in their cozy, vulnerable house. He grabbed his phone, thumb hovering over Lily's name, when his radio crackled. "Chief, Priority 1. CIVY Lien report, life endangerment. 724 Willow Lane." Ethan froze. That was Saw address. His heart slammed against his ribs. "Details. Now," he demanded, his voice tight. "Caller says a woman's chained outside, Chief. Chained to a metal pole in the storm. Identified as Lily Carter." The world spun. Chained? Is Lily pregnant in this killer storm? It was a death sentence. "I'm en route," he choked out, already yanking on his rain gear, his mind a tornado of terror and fury. Who? Why? No time for questions. Every second was life or death. Ethan tore out into the storm, the wind nearly ripping the door from his hands. Rain lashed his truck as he sped through flooded streets, wipers useless against the deluge. Willow Lane was a river, debris swirling in the current. Then he saw their house, a shadow against a sky bruised purple and flashing white. And in the yard, a figure. He slammed the truck into park, engines still running, headlights cutting through the chaos. He stumbled out, the wind knocking him sideways, rain stinging like needles. There she was, Lily, chained to an old iron lightning rod, a relic from his grandpa's days. Her soaked dress clung to her pregnant belly, her hair plastered to her pale face. She slumped against the pole, barely conscious. And standing nearby, under a garish yellow umbrella, was Margaret Holt, the Willow Lane HOA president. The neighborhood called her Karen, behind her back, a nickname dripping with resentment. Her gray hair was perfect despite the storm, her smile cold and smug as she watched Lily suffer. "Margaret!" Ethan roared, his voice lost in the gale. He staggered forward, water swirling around his ankles. Margaret turned, her smile flickering, then hardening. "Mr. Carter, late to the show. Your wife was disturbing the peace again. I took action. Are you insane?" Ethan screamed, fumbling with the bolt cutters on his belt. He reached Lily, her eyes fluttering open, glazed with fear. "Ethan," she whimpered. "She'll be quiet now," Margaret said, her voice eerily calm. "Some people need to learn their place. HOA rules, Mr. Carter." Lightning split the sky, the thunder shaking the ground. Ethan's hands shook as he cut the chain, his strength fueled by desperation. "You're trying to kill her," he bellowed as the chain snapped. Lily collapsed in his arms, ice cold and trembling. He shielded her, turning to Margaret. "Nonsense," she scoffed, but her eyes betrayed a flicker of unease. "Just a reminder to follow the rules." Ethan carried Lily inside, her weight a stark reminder of her fragility. Hypothermia was setting in. The baby god, the baby. He stopped at the door, fury boiling over. "Margaret, you're under arrest." Her umbrella tilted. "Arrest? For enforcing bylaws. For attempted murder," Ethan snarled, kicking open the door. He laid Lily on the couch, grabbing his radio. "Dispatch, Chief Carter. Ambulance and police to 724 Willow Lane. Hypothermic pregnant VY Tim, aggravated assault. Suspect is Margaret Holt, Charge is attempted murder. A stunned pause, then, copy chief. Units en route. Ethan wrapped Lily in blankets, her lips blue, teeth chattering. Stay with me, baby, he whispered, tears burning his eyes. He pressed his ear to her belly, praying. A faint kick. Relief hit like a drug. Sirens wailed, red and blue lights flashing through the rain. Outside, Margaret's composure cracked as cops approached. Ethan stroked Lily's hair, the nightmare far from over, but help was here. Willow Lane hadn't always been a battleground. 2 years ago, Ethan and Lily bought their fixer-upper, charmed by its quirky roof and wild garden. Ethan's job as an engineer, then storm chief, was demanding but fulfilling. Lily, a freelance artist with a heart for nature, turned their yard into a pollinator's paradise, wildflowers buzzing with life. Most neighbors loved it, but not Margaret Holt. Her pristine house screamed control, and she loathed Lily's messy garden. It started with snide remarks at the mailbox. Such enthusiasm, dear, she'd say, eyeing the flowers with disgust. But the HOA has standards. Lily stayed polite. It's for the bees, Margaret. Good for the ecosystem. Margaret's reply was always about property values, her we meaning herself. As HOA president for a decade, she ruled with an iron fist, her meetings more dictatorship than democracy. Trouble began with a bird feeder Lily hung. A week later, an HOA letter cited a rule against vermin-attracting feeders. No one else got such a notice. She's making it up, Ethan said, furious. Lily, pregnant and hating conflict, took it down. It's not worth the fight. But Margaret grew bolder complaints about bins, laughter, even their door's color. Each jab chipped at Lily's spirit. Ethan, swamped with work, couldn't fight every battle. Then Lily proposed a mural for the neighborhood entrance, a VY Brandt design of local plants. At the HOA meeting, neighbors cheered, but Margaret shut it down. Messy, inappropriate. Lily came home crushed, and Ethan's anger hardened. Things turned sinister when their dog, Max, came back bleeding from a precise cut. Ethan installed a camera, suspecting Margaret. Then, at the block party, Margaret humiliated Lily, dismissing her as unsuitable to run kids' games. Lily begged Ethan to let it go, but the neighborhood felt like a minefield. Margaret's real fear surfaced when Lily uncovered HOA financial oddity shady contracts, missing funds. She planned to speak at the next meeting. The day before, Margaret confronted her, caught on camera, her words inaudible but menacing. Lily called Ethan, scared. She threatened me, said I'd regret speaking out. Margaret saw her chance in the storm. With Ethan at work, she chained Lily to the rod, a premeditated act to silence her. But she didn't count on Ethan's team. While Lily recovered in the hospital stable, miraculously Ethan dug deeper. Neighbors, freed from fear, shared stories of Margaret's threats. Old Mr. Thompson, a former HOA treasurer, handed Ethan ledgers showing shady withdrawals. She forced me out when I asked questions, he said. Ethan traced payments to Holt Superior Maintenance, a front owned by Margaret. She'd been embezzling for years, her rules a cover for greed. The HOA meeting was electric. Margaret, out on bail, dared to preside, her face a mask of calm. Ethan and Lily entered, her strength quiet but unshakable. Margaret began, painting herself as a VY Tim. Ethan stood. Are you calling chaining my pregnant wife to a lightning rod an unconventional way to silence her? Gasps echoed. Margaret sputtered. A mischaracterization. Ethan pressed. The storm I've been tracking for days? You assaulted her to stop her questions about your fraud. Detective Larson stepped in, officers at her side. We have the chain, medical reports, your own words, Margaret. Ethan turned to the treasurer, Clara. Tell us about Holt's Superior Maintenance. Clara crumbled. I signed what she told me. Mr. Thompson stood. She's been stealing for years. The room erupted, neighbors shouting about rising dues, bogus fees. Margaret Holt, Larson said, you're under arrest for assault, false imprisonment, and fraud. Handcuffs clicked as Margaret shrieked, her facade shattered. Willow Lane healed slowly. Margaret's trial exposed her crimes. She was sentenced to years in prison, her assets sold to repay stolen funds. The HOA was rebuilt, transparent and fair. Lily painted her mural, neighbors adding handprints. Their daughter, Grace, was born under a clear sky, a symbol of hope. Ethan held his family tighter, vowing to protect their home. They stayed, watching Grace toddle across the yard, laughter replacing fear. Willow Lane was theirs again, rooted in courage and community. What would you have done in Ethan's shoes? Confront Margaret sooner, or stay quiet to keep the peace? Was Margaret's punishment fair, or did her years of control justify leniency? Should Lily have fought back earlier, or was her patience her strength? Drop your thoughts below, hit like if this gripped you, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you on edge.